Hey guys, it's Jeff once again. I'm gonna do a quick video on a little small Ranger 25. Okay, one of the smaller boats. You don't need screw pads, you don't need flags, banners, or anything like that. Okay, so this is a 25. All right, now I loaded it this way because I'm kind of doing a couple of tests to see where we can load this boat. I could have push this boat forward a lot more. A lot of times I'll move this box and I'll put it up here on the deck. If I would have done that, I could have pushed the bow all the way up into here and not worried about hitting the I-beams that are coming down on the neck. If I would have done that, it would have pushed the back of the boat forward probably a good 2 to 3 feet. Reason I'm bringing that up is because what I did is I ran a 3-bar setup back here in the back. Okay, you can see I put a triple cup with 3 crossbars because I was a little concerned if I had less about this area of the boat being too close to this area of my trailer and potentially bouncing or whatever. But I see I have a ton of room. You can definitely go with 2 bars. My goal would be to put a 90-degree elbow in here, or actually if we move the boat forward, it'd probably be like back here on one of these pockets. Run a single crossbar, let that crossbar rest on this I-beam and that I-beam over there, and then put another 90-degree elbow. So you got a single bar with these bunks on there, and now the boat's going to be much lower. We just have to watch to make sure that this area of the boat here, this chime, this long chime, does not get too close to this I-beam where it potentially could hit. But I think we're going to be good. This was an experiment. Next time I'm going to try to do the 1-bar system. I definitely know you don't need 3. You can use 2. But you can see even with 3, there's a slight bow in my bars because this boat's pretty heavy for just 2 bars. Okay. I didn't want to bend my bars because it's a pain in the butt once they get bent. But anyway, so let's go on. All right, so back here, as I always say, you can see that I always wrap carpet around so that it's sitting on the top of, whether it's 1 bar, 2 bars, or 3 bars, it doesn't matter. Okay, reason being is because I've had these bunks here crack or break, like that one over there and this one here, and the boat slide down because the bunk broke away. If I hadn't had that carpet there, it would have done a lot of damage to the bottom of the boat because the bottom of the boat would have been resting on those crossbars, just metal crossbars. So anyway, I always tape some carpet there. Okay, hold on. I just want to come over to the other side. So when you're doing your setup, whether it's 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, or whatever, on a 25, if you figure that's the center of the bar right underneath that drain plug there, you're going to go out 4 holes, 1, 2, 3, and pin the 4th hole. That's where your bunk's going to go on each side. Reason being is because if you look up underneath there, I'm going to zoom in here. Sorry, I dropped my phone. If you look up underneath here, right there is a brass clamshell. It's a water intake, okay? You don't want to have that sitting on this bunk. It'll crush it into the bottom of the boat. So you can see if I would have gone over to hole 3, then the edge of that clamshell would have been resting on top of that bunk right there, and we could have potentially done some damage. So on a 25, 4 holes out from the center, regardless of however many bars you have, 1, 2, or 3. Now obviously 3 bars is fine. I was way under height and didn't have to worry about that. So if you want to do 3, do 3, but I know 2 will work, and we're going to try to do 1. All right, so for the strapping, it's the same on both sides. Okay, you have a cleat right up here, a metal cleat. You're going to cut a little slit in the cover, just enough to push the cleat through. All right, now you may not have the straps with these nylon loops like I have, so you're going to take the clip at the end of your strap, and you're going to, there's two little poles come up. You're going to clip a strap to each one of those poles, and you're going to come down. But you always got to have that carpet in there, because your metal clip will rest against the boat, and as the boat, you going down the road, it's going to scratch. Okay, so always put plenty of carpet there. Normally I come back behind it and I tape up those cleats so they don't catch air, but it was raining that morning and everything was wet and the tape wouldn't stick. Okay, on the bigger boats, there's a cleat right up here in the center that will go down on, but we don't need to do that on the 25. Okay, it's not necessary. In the front, you're going from the D-ring, 2 straps on each side. Okay, they're pulling down and they're pulling back, and I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first one goes just past the 6th cup. This one goes just past the 4th cup, and that's plenty of pull down and back to hold the boat because it hasn't moved. So hold on, I'm going to go to the other side. Okay, so you can see I did the same thing, and if you count, it's the same there. And then these straps back here are the same as well. Okay, now for the front, you know, we talked about resting the back on the bars there. On the front, we can definitely just run a single bar. So you're going to get a 90-degree elbow like this. You're going to drop it in. Now there's a bow thruster up here. It's in different places on different boats. It's a propeller. What you don't want to do is you don't want to set that bow thruster right down in where your bunks are. You want the bunks to be behind it. It's a lot thinner right there where that bow thruster is, and we could take a chance of it crushing. Okay, so let's say your bow thruster's there and we run a bar here and we put the bunks in, and the bunks you want to use for the front are those right there. Okay, they're going to go 2 holes out from the center on each side. All right, so for the front, you run your 90-degree elbow, a single crossbar. It should rest on the I-beam on both sides. Okay, put those bunks I just showed 2 holes out from the center. They'll kind of fold together, and you set the bow, put carpet in there, and then set the bow right down in there, and should be good to go. All right, so not a big deal on this one because you don't have all the oversized stuff. So I'm just going to do a broad walk around, and I'm already down in Florida, and this boat hasn't moved at all with just those straps strapped just that way. And you can see here, okay, let me hold my phone straight, that the boat is still sitting level after all the way across the country. So the way this one's loaded is fine. You can load it this way, and anytime somebody finds a better way to load something, man, all you got to do is tell me, like, hey, I tried this, it worked really well. Send pictures to me or a video or whatever. We can, anytime we can make something easier that works as good or better, then let's do it. But again, like I was saying, if I would have moved this box like I do with the really big boats, okay, and moved it up there, I could have pushed this boat here at least 3 feet, maybe 3.5 if I would have tucked it up in here. You just don't want it to hit this I-beam right in here or that one over there, but easily 3 feet. Then I could have had, let's see, yeah, I think that chime right there would have actually been in front of this right here, and we could have moved this boat down a good bit. But I was still under height, so you know, that's the biggest thing is staying under height where you don't have to worry about hitting anything. So but anyway, like I always say, if you got any questions, you know how to get a hold of me, and that's all I got to say about that.